get my makeup on your
Right. Like the dude, how the French people do this.
Absolutely.
Hey y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Shift Chats, the space where transformation reads real life conversation. I'm your host, Clarendria Addison, and this season we're leaning deep into the power of the pivot. Those defining moments when life shifts. We rebuild from the inside out, and we thrive like never before. Today's guest is someone who embodies that pivot with precision and power. Tonda Thompson, founder of She Slangs Wood. She's breaking barriers in the world of woodworking and building more than just furniture. She's also building community, healing, and a legacy. So whether you're questioning your next move or just need a little reminder that strength and softness can coexist, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome to Shift Chats. I'm your host, Clarendria Addison, author, therapist, and podcast host. Here today with Tonda Thompson of She Slangs Wood.
Hey.
Her run,
Harambe.
Harambe's run. We're going to talk about,
Yes.
because you got your t-shirt on, so that means we got to talk about it. Yes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I'm going to get right into it because I want to make sure that we touch on, some important things that you have going on. So one of the first questions that I always ask everyone is I ask you to send me a picture. I always say don't overthink it because people be like, oh my God, why does she want a picture? So the question is, when you look at this version of yourself, what do you wish she knew? Or what's one thing you now understand that this younger you couldn't yet see?
That you are enough. You don't have to prove anything to anybody else. God gave you all that you need to be great. You don't have to tap into anybody else for that greatness because it's already there.
Yeah. How do you feel like you find greatness? Because we have to do that every day as entrepreneurs.
You have to wake up and I always look at my own fingerprints. And I think that there's nobody else in this world with those fingerprints. There'll never be another. So why not be the best I can be?
Right.
While I'm here, because it's never going to be another Tonda or this.
Right.
So why not do everything that God told me to do and some more,
Right. I appreciate you sharing that, and I appreciate you specifically noting the person who has given you the gifts.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes I think that that's not talked about. Like people are afraid of, saying God and so for me, I'm always like, whatever your person is, right? If it's Allah, the Buddha, whoever your person is, but be connected to something, right?
Yeah.
Or we'll fall for anything, though, as the old saying goes.
Absolutely. I say whoever that, whether it's the Most High, the universe, God, Yahweh, whoever that is, Allah, whatever that is, that higher power, some people say it's them. Like, I could say I'm a God, whatever that is,
right?
Believe in it,
Yeah.
But I think that if you believe in yourself, you can't believe in God and not believe in yourself. It's one and the same. You believe in yourself, you believe in God. You believe in God, you believe in yourself.
Right. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Question. What made you first pick up a power tool and realize that woodworking wasn't just a skill, but it really was a part of your purpose?
Well, I've told the story a million times where my son was dancing on a coffee table. It was a glass coffee table, and he thought that he was Mickey Mouse. So at the time, the hot dog dance was out. He was doing a hot diggity dog dance, And it was just something about my son Jelani. Like, he just thought that was the place to do it every time he had to do the dance. So
and he was a boy, so
he's a boy, so he just hopped on the table. At the time, he was 3. He was a pretty heavy 3-year-old, so he was just getting down on the table dancing. And then one day, the table, this was in the I have to say that this was at the heart of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like right when we went on quarantine, and we was
Okay.
just. I'm usually never at home,
Mm-hmm.
so we didn't have nothing to do. I
Right.
didn't know if we was gonna live or die. What was
Exactly.
going on?
Exactly.
So we didn't know what COVID was. So it was
Yeah.
literally like in early March. This table broke,
Mm-hmm.
and at this time, I was at this journey where it was like I wanted to make my house a home, and I had just got that coffee table, and my son broke it. So I'm like, I need another coffee table because it was starting to feel like a home, you know.
Right.
And we were just sitting around, not knowing what the world was about.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have no access to any furniture stores, and of course at that time I was a videographer. I'm like, I was a entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
struggling entrepreneur, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't have enough money to like order offline or nothing.
Right. Right.
So I literally went to YouTube. I have a friend by the name of Gigi. Gigi works for a furniture store here, and her and her husband was they were doing like some DIY stuff.
Okay.
And me and Gigi, I have a past life of modeling, and Gigi and I modeled back in the day. So I'm
Okay.
like, if Gigi can make a table, I can make a table too. I'm with the tech. I'm with
Right.
the walkie tech.
Okay.
Why not, right?
Mhm.
So I went to
That's
YouTube.
a trade school for the people
Yes.
who watching who don't know. That's one
Milwaukee
of-
Tech here,
trade
Milwaukee,
school,
Bradley
yes.
Tech, trade
Right.
school. So I'm like, I could do this, you know. So I built the table. I made a video. I posted everything online, as I always did. But I posted that post, and it went viral, and I had 10 table orders within a week. So it's something about solid tables that people like that you can't get in stores.
Right.
So it was like, this I might be
You
onto
onto
something.
for sure. And this was during the I call it the pandemic now, you know.
Yes.
We ain't gonna go on, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So during that time you would think, okay, people are watching, but nobody's gonna order anything because it's this time. Like you said, we don't know if we're gonna live or die.
I was just playing in with some tools I picked up. I literally had a drill, and that was it. And I'm like, okay, I'm about to use this. My brother gave me, honest to God, there was this truck going down the street. A bag of tools fell off the truck. And my brother was like, here, you take this one, I'll take this one.
Okay.
Right? So it was a random drill that I had. Like, I don't even know. Like, it was just like, it was divine, to be honest. But it was a random drill that I used. I got the materials cut at Home Depot. Home Depot custom materials, if you ask them.
Okay.
So that's how I got the the items to do it. So I was just in my basement building, having fun with my son. And he was 3 at the time, so he was helping too.
Right.
So literally it was like, I'm just gonna post this online for fun, and it blew up. And everything that I posted after that went viral.
Okay.
It became therapeutic. Many people don't know I was into social justice work. I did infant mortality advocacy here in Milwaukee. So in honor of my first son Terrell, we talk about that. If we might talk about that soon.
You can share. Go ahead. Yeah.
But I mean, we could talk. We got to talk a little bit deeper about Terrell. But I was doing a lot of social justice work. Hands on the ground, foot on the ground,
Right.
pavement, making sure babies born healthy, black babies born healthy in our city. And at the time when the unrest happened, it was like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do this. So I was literally in my garage building tables and having fun in my garage when everybody was out, doing what I was doing for those years prior.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the young people do it. They did a good job at what they were doing. And I just stayed in my garage, and I started to teach myself different skills, learn on YouTube.
Okay.
Then I started teaching other people.
Right. And so that transition, when we're talking about shifting and transitioning, that is a real live transition, because you went from, oh my God, my son broke my table. I'm going to make me a table.
Yes.
Now I'm going to sell tables.
Yes.
And then we cannot have this conversation without talking about what you've built from there. Because I know you purchased I think it was a storefront before, house storefront type situation.
It's a 3-story building, yep.
In the city.
Yeah.
And went through some things to get that established. I remember we've had a couple conversations about that.
Yes.
But you're over the hump. So I want to hear the goodness of where you are now with that space and what you do, because you do some great things there as well.
Yes, absolutely. So the 3-story building, Along the way, I picked up a real estate development company called Valor Creative Collective.
Okay.
Valor means to be brave in the sight of danger.
And this
And
is your business.
this is my business.
Okay.
So it's my real estate arm.
Mm-hmm.
There's a long story with talking about how I got the building as well. But basically, I own a building that was a staple in the community, the 311 Foods Corner Store. Most millennials that grew up in the Harambe neighborhood know what that store is. They know it as the Penny Candy Lady store. I bought it. It was vacant for 20 years. Nobody wanted it. I raised $500,000 to renovate it.
Okay.
Right now, it stands as, like, literally, you drive down the street. It's a big blue building with She Slangs Wood sign on it. I have about 10 employees now.
Okay, 10. Come on now.
I know, right?
Yes.
It started off with just me, but now it's 10 people.
Okay.
I'm actively looking for 2 more.
Okay.
I have a whole plan and operation. Excuse me. I'm the first Black woman in the world to own a sawmill in the world.
Come on, say it. The first Black woman in the world.
In the world.
Wow.
There's nobody. If anybody else is out there, let me know.
Come on, because you know the people are trying to do the research, but we pretty sure. I love that.
I'm pretty honest. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm the only in the world. So on Achilles and Burleigh, there's a sawmill in the back, and we are the number one. I'm trying to be the number. We are the number one source of hardwoods.
Okay.
In the United States, we are the answer to tariffs. Because people usually buy their wood from Canada. Most companies buy their wood from Canada and other companies across the world. We don't grow a good source of hardwood. We don't process our own. So most of those stuffs were, outsourced. And there, with everything happening with the government,
right,
there was a high tariff situation with those items, and that the cost of hardwoods went really high. So people are coming to me now saying, "Hey, I heard you got cherry wood. I heard you got black wood. I heard you got this, this type of." I sell wood for, fireplace mantles. I sell sawdust. I sell wood slabs. I sell raw materials,
right,
to people across the nation.
Wow, I love that. So it sounds like the building on your first building sounds like it's growing into something to be. You are gonna outgrow the space. Sound like
that. This is wild. Today, there's talks of me getting a larger building.
Okay.
Because I've outgrown the space.
I love that. Yes. That is so beautiful.
So I have partnerships with the city of Milwaukee. Working on a partnership with them. The city was having an issue of, they had a slight issue with what they were doing with logs, basically, that, fell in our yard. So people don't know that a tree that grows in your yard is worth at least $20,000. You can process that tree and make $20,000 off that tree. Okay. So I've been teaching them, like, look, let's not send our trees away to other counties that's outside of the city. Let's
you can send them right on over here to She Slangs Wood.
First and Burleigh. Come on.
First and Burleigh.
Come to First and Burleigh. We'll process this wood and we'll make great things out of it. But the most important thing is we're giving young Black and brown children, people, adults, not just children, but people, access to, lucrative jobs and skills to change their lifestyle.
That. Because in addition to that, like you were doing fences. I remember, like.
So yes, I have a full exterior team.
Okay.
I have a full carpentry team. So there's about 4 different divisions of She Slangs Wood. There's exterior carpentry, there's furniture making in the storefront, which is home goods store. So we sell different items for different people across the city, like makers, like ceramic stuff and stuff like that, and paintings. You have the sawmill where we have raw materials. And then you have the brand, which is I do the DIY brand.
Right.
I go to different schools, teach different schools. I teach a lot of different places. And then, mainly just, there's a bunch of components with She Slangs Wood. But yes, I learned how to build a fence because of the same situation with the table. My son was in the backyard playing. There was some drug activity going on in my backyard. And I built the fence to protect my son from that.
I love that. Wow. The power in your hands, honey. I love it.
Yeah. Once you do that, you figure out you can make anything in this world. So
right. Listen, I got a question for y'all. What are y'all shifting into? Because y'all been watching. We on season 3. I need to know. Put it in the comments. Like, subscribe. Remember, the shift is happening now. So let me ask you, what did building with your hands teach you about rebuilding your life?
Um, that's a deep question.
Because I know there's the loss of the baby, there's
Yes.
divorce. You know what I'm saying? So you can share what you want. I won't.
When I picked up a tool, it was such a healing journey to where it's like it's something about woodworking and the smell of wood, like the smell of sawdust. Like people, if you ever ask a person, like a person that grew up in a house with a woodworker, like
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like maybe your auntie, like, yeah, my granddaddy used to do this when I was growing up, and I just love the smell of wood. And to
Mm-hmm.
me, this, I don't know, it's something about the smell of like cedar wood or black
Mm-hmm.
walnut, and it has a therapeutic reaction to you. And to answer that question, like when I was just sitting there building, I'm like, okay, this can change. You can think, you process things when you building, you getting that anger out by hitting,
Mm-hmm.
hammers, and you
Mm-hmm.
everything is coming out. It's like a verbal, I call it a verbal vomit. Like you're vomiting all of
Right.
these different ideas. And once you start building and making stuff and furniture, you're like, I can do this. I can do this
Mm-hmm.
too. I can build this.
Right.
So it just takes your mind from being small all the way to large, is saying, okay, I can change these
Right.
different parts of my life and whatever. I don't know if that made sense, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm still processing that
Right.
that that question.
I love it. I love it. So I ask you, um, what are you building now? Not just physically, but spiritually or emotionally.
Understanding um, that it will work out eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I put my mind to it, it may not work out now, what I'm trying to do, but eventually it will work out. If you write
Right.
it down on paper and you manifest it,
Mm-hmm.
it will work out.
Talk more about the manifesting.
I have on my refrigerator three different manifestations that I wrote down. I wrote it down in early 2023, and two of those manifestations has already come true.
Mm-hmm.
It's just understanding that is power. Like it's power in writing a piece of paper saying I'm going to do this day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to happen.
Right. And bringing it to life, like, because you're seeing it, like you said, you have it on your refrigerator.
Mhm.
Because I work to talk about that as well, and
Mhm.
like what I've been doing. Like many of the moves that I've made, the conversations that I've had have been like I can already see it happening.
Yes.
Right. And for me, I say write it down and make it plain. Because if I write it down, then for me, I know, okay, girl, you said you was gonna do, and then I have to do it.
Yes.
So do you feel the same?
I have to speak in context as I was on the tippy toe what that was. So I literally wrote down when I needed a building. So I was on a Kelly Carson show,
Okay.
and Kelly Carson was like, "You should have your own TV show." And then
Okay.
and then like after that, like I had all these LA producers like, "Hey, we about to make you a TV show." I'm like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
So at this time I'm in my garage. I'm like, what y'all gonna come and shoot in my garage on, Capitol? Like, I'm on, 7050 Capitol.
Okay.
Like, what,
Mm-hmm.
so what is that? Like, what is gonna be there? It's gonna be so boring. And they were like, yeah, you should get a building. So with the building, I literally, I had no idea where I was gonna go. The building that I'm in now was like literally like nobody wanted it,
Right.
And once I got a hold of it, I paid 3,000 down. I literally went to the city. Was like, hey, y'all not doing nothing with this. Can you give it to me for 3,000? It's like,
Right.
okay.
I love
So
it.
it worked out, but I didn't have the 500,000 to renovate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally wrote like, I will have this much of money. I will have 50,000 to renovate it. I will have my own sawmill.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote it down, and literally I have that now.
Right.
And everything I
And
wrote in
speak
the
to the work that because you wrote it down and it didn't just pop out of the
it didn't.
sky,
It didn't.
people.
The grants and everything, that was the easiest part.
Mm-hmm.
It fell out the sky. It was like money here, money there, money there. But
And during that time, because this is like pandemic time that we're talking
this
about.
is
So
ARPA funds time.
okay.
This is where everybody's like, here, you get a dollar, you get a dollar, you get a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, give me
Right.
give it back.
You want our money back.
Here, give it back. you can't have that. But
Right.
there was a lot of stipulations to where, there's the show Bridgerton where it talked about the Queen. That's the series when they did on the Queen, and there was one part when she realized that she was really in control.
Right.
And so the things with the grants is that people was throwing dollars, but people were gatekeeping, like, hey, you can have this. You know, I'm not gonna talk into detail with it, but I wasn't receiving everything that I said that was said that I was gonna receive.
Okay.
And people had access to my funds, and they were giving it out with as please, basically,
nickel
right?
and diming you with your own.
And they
funds.
gave it to people that they chose. They said, hey, you have to choose this contractor. You can't choose this contractor. You gotta choose this one. And situations happen to where I'm talking in codes because it's literally like I'm in the middle of a lawsuit with these things.
And I understand
Yeah.
that you can't name names, but if you can, because you're not the first person that I heard say this, in these experiences with this whole real estate and funding and the resources, that come about. So I feel like if we can shorten it and just say it's a little political, right?
It's it's extremely political.
This, yeah.
It's extremely political to the point where, like I said, the easiest part was getting the grants. Like I'm just this young black girl that has this dream of everything I do is in honor of my son Terrell. If we talk about that a little bit later, that'd be real cool.
You can share. Go ahead.
So Terrell was born at Aurora Sinai here. Terrell was in perfect condition when I was in delivery with him, but during the labor and delivery process, there was an act of neglect. Terrell was having a hard time going through my canal. He was a big kid, like he was a giant baby, right? And he was struggling going through my canal, and they were steady, inducing with Pitocin. You know how the whole labor process. So I was in labor for 41 hours.
Oh, wow.
And his heart was decelerating multiple times. So was mine. Basically, they didn't give my son and I a C-section at the right time. So they waited and tried to force it naturally. So what happened was that Terrell was born after we finally got a C-section. 41 hours later, he was alive and well, but I was dying. But 17 hours later, I don't know what changed, but I got better, and he caught an E. coli infection. Basically, while he was in my canal that long, he was passing meconium, which the baby was, he was, pooping, and it got into his lungs, and they didn't flush his lungs out thoroughly when they took him out. So he passed away the next day, which is May 24th. He was born May 23rd. He passed away May 24th. Thank you. He passed away the next day. It was a tragic summer, 2013, for my family. I was a runway model, had everything. I was married, everything was perfect. I had the life that, was going really, really smooth. I always tell the story that I was on a few years before that. I was on America's Next Top Model. I was auditioning for America. I was like right before you get to TV.
Okay.
There's many processes getting on Next Top Model.
Yes.
But I almost made it, and they basically told me, like, yeah, your life is like real bland. Like, you ain't got nothing going on. You got a perfect life, right? But when that happened, I'm like, man, I can get on Next Top Model now.
Right.
Because I went through all this, but when the situation with Terrell happened, it destroyed my family. It put me in a high severe rate of being super, super depressed and suicidal. Me and my ex-husband at the time, we got a divorce that same summer. So I went from losing my baby to getting a divorce to being homeless. So it was just a ricochet of many different issues. And I found out that many black families were going through what I went through that same year. And that turned me into a straight warrior. So that's how I created the Harambe 5K. That's how I got connected with Public Allies and United Way, and I started working with Mayor Barrett to eliminate, social determinants of health in the community that affected, healthy birth rates. So that's how I got hard into that business. So So yeah, it's I don't even remember what I was talking about before. But that's my story. Like I went on this strong journey of really like I really shaved my head and became a Wakanda warrior because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
black babies are dying and nobody's doing nothing about it. And it's destroying black
Yeah.
families in our community, you know?
Right.
So I got real heavy in work to where I got all the way up to the mayor and I was working alongside with the mayor
Mm-hmm.
and making a difference in the city.
Right.
So
Oh, I love that, and I didn't know that part because we were kind of saying before, like, how like you can know somebody but not know all of the things. Like people think because they see you on social media and they see right, but there's always like an additional story, which is one of the things that I'm wanting to do with Shift Chats and entrepreneurs is for them to be able to share their story because I think people see the glitz and the glam and
absolutely.
like, oh, she got a building, she slangs wood, she was a model, but you
Man.
don't know kind of the backstory of how you got to where you are, and that is the journey.
Listen, they don't know that I was on the floor begging for mercy, asking God to save me at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you
Yeah.
please? And this is that happened one time after I lost the rail, and it also happened during the midst of the building situation, like
Yeah.
losing 500,000 because
Mm-hmm.
somebody stole the money. You know,
Right. Yeah.
like I'm like literally on the floor, like, why am I here again,
Right.
God? And
And it's always like the lesson. I feel
yeah,
like because you've gone through that experience and now you're going through right. You're coming out on the other side,
hmm,
and the lesson is one, the journey, the story that you get to tell,
yeah,
right, so other people can know you'll get through, like you'll get through at
oh
some
yeah,
point, right, but then like you're still going,
ain't no stopping.
right. I love that, like you are still making it happen.
Absolutely.
I see the videos, I see all the things, and I'm always like, I just got to sit down and talk to her because she has so many great things going on.
I don't know if we can pack all the
I
things I
know
got in
all at
this.
the time, but that's okay. We gonna get through what we can.
Yes.
So I have a question. Have you ever had a moment where you questioned it all? Your path, your power, your pivot, and what brought you back to yourself?
I always have. I tell people I have at least one day a week where I call it crash. It's Thursday actually. I call it crash out
Okay.
Thursdays. I
Okay.
didn't crash out this Thursday. I took a break this
Okay.
Thursday. But every Thursday, I'll be doing too much and I'll be like, why? Like why am I here?
Mhm.
And I mean that's my little moment. I do check myself,
Yeah.
I do take a deep breath. I drink some water and I get back up, keep going.
Yeah.
But those times, like the times when I said I was laying on the floor, like literally, like like I say in 2022, I had raised all this money for the building. It was so easy. It was perfect.
Mhm.
Boom, the contractor do me bogus. I don't have no more money. Now you got to raise another 100,000.
Mhm.
Now you got to do all this stuff. Okay, like why? Like why did I
Right.
get this far and why did this happen? And I'm literally on the floor crying out loud. And my son Jelani at the time, I have two sons. Terrell is deceased and
Mhm.
Jelani is he's going on 9. Jelani was about 6 or 7 at the time, and Jelani had a speech delay, and he
Okay.
couldn't speak well. So I'm in there on the floor, just like, oh God! And Jelani walks in like, get off the floor, and laugh and walks away.
Right. It be the kids, be your own kids. Other people say it be your own
Like he
kids.
couldn't even speak well. He's like,
Right.
get off the floor. So
Okay.
to answer that question, like my son was my inspiration. Like I'm like, okay, I do
Mhm.
need to get off the floor
Yeah.
and keep going. So my look at my son Jelani and to look at all the work that I've accomplished
Mhm.
over the years. That's my motivation to keep going.
I love that. And he sees that in you.
Man, he's whenever I'm slumped over, he like get up.
Right. I love it. I love it.
And he's a jerk about it too. He's a funny jerk about it. Like he's a great kid.
Right.
But he just be so direct. Like get off the floor. Like
Right.
why are you doing this? And it be
Yeah.
like
And because I feel like too, he's seen you. Like he's seen you on the floor, but he's also seen you in
oh
the
yeah,
building. You've also built tables and fences with him, and
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying. So he knows what you're capable of, and
My
our kids know us better than anybody.
my son has sat at tables with the mayors, both
Mhm.
mayors,
Right.
both all the elected officials. Like
Mhm.
he knows them by name. He
Right.
knows, he sees the award accolades and all that. He sees everything.
Right. I love that.
Hmm.
So tell us about the Harambe Run. because I think it's important for people to know. Give us a little snippet about that, and then I have a couple more questions for you.
Yeah, so August 2nd, this is year 10, 10 years,
The
man.
10-year
10
anniversary.
years.
And
So
you started this
I
thing,
started
right?
it. I
Yes.
started it. Another person I can't leave out, LaShondra Vernon, was my
Okay.
manager at United Way at the time, and I was given a task on what to do in the Harambe neighborhood. During that time in 2015, I believe, and I was a public ally. But I
Okay.
also started that journey with Lena Taylor. She's Judge Taylor at the time. So when the situation happened in 2013 with my son, I was just like, I need to do something, and I called Lena Taylor, and at the time she was Senator Taylor. I'm like, oh, we need to do something for these
Right.
babies. And she's like, you should do a walk run. And then my cousin, I have a cousin named Jermaine Reed. A lot of people know him. So Jermaine was like, you should do a walk run. So it kept coming up, like, you should do a
Okay.
walk run. You should do a walk run. And then when I got to United Way, it was like, you got full range of creating this walk run. So
Wow.
United Way allowed me to create this 5K, which is it's the first of its kind on King Drive that promotes black and brown healthy babies in our community. It's the first in the nation, to be honest. It started off just
You
selling.
got a lot of first, girl. You just be brushing over it like, okay, I love it.
Man, listen, we it started off as just a King Drive thing, but now we got people in Nigeria. During the pandemic, it forced us to go virtual and in person.
Okay.
So now we have the virtual and in person option. So people from Nigeria, from Canada, people from all over the world are participating in the run. So it's in honor of Terrell. At first, it started off as a sad, 5K. Let's honor the babies. But now it's like, it's a fun, hip thing. The babies be out there swag surfing now.
Right. I love that.
So it turned from a memorial to a fun family event where you walk next to your mayors, your elected officials, your aldermen, your senators. Your doctor is there, your cousin down the street there, you know what I'm saying? So it's action packed. It's the first it's US track and field certified. So if you run the 5K, you go down in history saying that you ran the 5K. So NCHBFinc.org is where you can go register. You can just Google Harambe 5K.
Okay.
It comes up as well.
Okay, we'll make sure we share the information. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Final questions. Share a defining moment that shifted everything for you.
Defining moments. Learning that I had the power to do anything. Meaning that when I was a model, I used to go door to door and I said, hey, can I used to audition for these different agencies.
Okay.
And one thing about modeling taught me that, this many people gonna say no, but this one person is gonna say yes. So learning that if I keep going and if I keep manifesting things, it will happen, and that's my power. That might be my power personally. I don't know if everybody else has that power, but I understand that I have the power to do anything in this world that I put my mind to it, and I hope that my son has that same type of vision as well.
I love that. Thank you. Last question. If you could have dinner with 1 to 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be, and what's one question you would ask?
One would be my grandmother. My grandmother, Mosetta, she passed away about 15 years ago. Now that I'm an adult, there's a lot of things coming out about her life, and I'm like, girl, we need to talk,
Okay.
we were close before she passed. Like she she helped raise me. She was my third parent,
Okay.
But now I'm like, we need to talk. Like what was going on back in the day. But other than that, can't really think about anybody else.
And what would you ask her? What's one question you would ask grandma?
I would ask her about her resilience and how does she keep going? Like she has a story of resilience too.
Right.
And what kept her, like she moved all the way from, Mississippi, Oxford, Mississippi, all the way to Milwaukee, with these kids, like by herself. Like what was your motivation? What kept you going? I can't think of anybody else other than there's a lot of great women that come before me, and their stories aren't told. You know, a lot of black women, like I don't even want to put a name on it,
Right.
but it's a lot of black women with the idea of, you know, having a sawmill or having this big dream of changing this whole neighborhood. Like, you know, those are a lot of women that's from the Harambe neighborhood. Like, I
Right.
know it's women before me that had thoughts of changing, you know, the needle of different things. So I would like to speak to them. Like,
Yeah.
hey, give me the spirit or the word to keep going. You know.
Right. I love that. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
your resilience does not go unnoticed. So grandma definitely put it in you,
Oh
honey,
yeah.
because you have it.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you want to share with the shifters? Final words.
I don't know. I feel like I didn't share enough because it's so much. It's so much.
It is.
You know, we tipped the surface of, you know, things, and I am writing a book.
Okay.
I'm taking my time writing it. You know, so it will come out soon. But there's a lot to, you know, tell with my story and all the things I've been through. A lot of, like you said, a lot of people think I've gotten it easy. But if you know me, you know that I've
Right.
seen some really wild days, and my message is just to keep going, no matter how rough it gets, no matter how weird it feels, no matter how like uncomfortable it is. Like, keep going. Like, no matter if it makes you itchy or if it hurt a little bit,
Right.
like just keep going. Like those times when I laid on the floor crying, it was like I had those random things that would come and nudge me, like, hey, get up.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And then you always have that idea of because I feel like this for me as well. I'll be like, man, I don't want to do this. Like, this is so much harder than I thought it was going to be. And then something to happen, a phone call or a grant or something, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, God,
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going, you know. And sometimes it's nothing and you just have to pull it from yourself. But
Yeah. I think we ignore when God tell us what to do. Like a lot of people be like, God didn't say that, but he be really God. Like, hey, do it, you know?
Right.
like you should let all that go and go do that.
Yeah.
Like you be like, no, why did?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta hear what God's saying, like,
Right.
and really follow it. Like, you know, owning a sawmill. Like, why am I a black woman in the middle of the hood with a sawmill? You know why? But
Yeah.
now I'm seeing why. Like, oh,
There's
this
power in your purpose.
this tariff situation is happening, and I got all the hardwoods in my bank. Okay, okay, God. Like, what the young people say? Clock it.
Oh, yes. And on that, we're gonna wrap. Thank you.
Absolutely.
The shift is happening now.
Absolutely. You said cut.
Because listen, because we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Huge gratitude to my girl Tonda Thompson for sharing her story, her strength, and reminder that sometimes we build with power tools and sometimes with tears and truth. If this episode resonated, share it with a friend who's mid-pivot or feeling stuck in their process. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps the message reach those who need it most. Until next time, I'm Clarendria, reminding you, you don't need permission to shift. You just need alignment. Keep rising, keep building, and keep flowing.